may not want to tell your Facebook friends that, but on Chirp It, people might get a laugh with it. So you might share it on Chirp It under your secret identity.
And they would recommend a good brand of Depends or something.
But so it is very new. There is some content on there now, but I really am looking to just sort of spread the word and start to get women to start using it, and then to get back to me and let me know what they are having trouble with, if anything, what they might like to see on it, what they like about what's there so far. They want to see categories added, whatever, just to get out there and use it and let me know how they're liking the experience so far.
Yeah, and just from the home page, I see there's questions on there right now, and I see where the answers come up to those off to the side. But like one person wrote, any advice for boaters? Summer will be here before we know it. Right. The other one is, what's the best way to protect my family? And another one is, got any interior decorating ideas to spruce up the foyer? So, and that decorating one seems to have the most answers right now.
Well, you can actually, if you go over to the right, there's right under where it says Need Advice, that is where you would post your question or dilemma. You would click that circled Need Advice button. And if you're registered and logged in, it would just take you to a field where you would post in a title and post in your question or your dilemma and hit, submit, and you'd be on your way. If you're not registered, it will ask you to register, and if you are registered but not logged in, it'll ask you to log in first. So, but if you look under that Need Advice section, you will see a couple of links. One says random, one says popular, one says... So you can search by those categories, too. If you click on the popular one, you'll see all the threads that will come up that have the most posts on them.
Okay, yeah, I see that now, and it seems pretty user friendly.
Yeah, that's what we're going for. We actually even want to simplify it a little more. So we are in the, as I said, this is a prototype, so it's a very early version. We are going to build our beta version, shortly. What might actually show up in the beta might be a lot different than what you see now here. But what will happen is, and you told me you were doing your show too on women and empowering women. What the overall sort of grand vision for this site is that it will let every woman know that in some area, some category, she is an expert or an influencer about things.
Right.
Because as people participate on the site and their responses get voted up or down, experts will emerge. And on top of that, if somebody says, oh, this was great advice and I took your advice and this is what happened, well, you not only become an expert in that area, but you become an influencer because you actually had someone act on what you suggested. And then influencers or top influencers in all the categories will be rewarded in some way. So, for example, if you're a top influencer in the fashion category, well, we might take you or send you to Fashion Week in New York on Chirp.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yes, so there are prizes and rewards and things that you could get if you emerge as one of these top people on the site. So I think that sort of would help make the content or the responses or the advice that's given be good advice, because if you want to say things that are thoughtful rather than just a bunch of hooey.
Yeah.
The hooey.
Exactly.
The hooey's going to get voted off. So if like on Facebook, if you can get you can give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Yes.
Well, we have a thing where you could give it a plus or a minus, and if you give a response a plus, it goes up and the color is green, and you can go up with your green numbers. If everybody gives it a minus, well, if there are 50 minuses on a response or 100 minuses, we haven't determined where we would do the cutoff. But if there's like 100 minuses, we're going to delete that. It's just going to.
It makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because we want the site to be useful. and have good information on it. And also fun. I mean, it could be, it could be a simple, lighthearted question like, what's the hot color for spring, red or pink?
Right.
And people,
it doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out, hard question.
No. Or, in the dating and relationship, is it okay to break up with a text message? Or, I want to, get my boyfriend a nice present for Christmas. What should I get him? So whatever. I mean, whatever is on the mind of the person at the time. They could text. They could, mobile smartphone it in, because we have a mobile app also, or they could go to the website and ask it, and people will reply, and you'll get your answer. So
I think that is going to be wonderful for a lot of women to use, and if this is successful, you may even want to think about doing one for men.
Well,
they have a lot of questions about women and what to buy and, things like that.
Well, the magic of this, or the beauty of this, is that who's to say the men won't come to the site to read?
That's true,
to see what's going on in the woman's mind.
Right. If they were smart, they would do that.
They would. And ultimately, like there is a Twitter, ultimately, again, it would be, if you want to get advice, you would chirp it, and not necessarily for women, but for everyone. But we're starting, we're sort of focusing on women right now, and we'll see where that takes us.
Yeah. I think it'll be very, very successful, and as I said, it looks user-friendly, so don't anybody be afraid to go over there and register. It's Chirpit, CHIRPPET.com. And can they give you a shout-out on there? I mean,
sure, yeah, there's a contact form. They can send it. It'll come right to me. They could let me know what they like or not like. We are on Twitter at Chirpit. They could follow us. So we have a Facebook page, facebook.com/Chirpit. So we are, getting our social networking together.
You have to hit all those social networks.
All those, yes, and we can be followed, and we could, questions can be asked of us on all those platforms. And if people have ideas or categories they would like to see, or if they're having some, problem with registering or whatever it might be, please feel free to reach out and let me know so we can rectify it and we can get everybody, up and running.
Yeah, that's definite. You always need opinions. What is the word I'm looking for? Opinions, I guess, to let you know what's good, bad, or ugly. So otherwise, to make it successful.
Yes, exactly. So
for everybody.
Yeah, so that's been keeping me busy between developing this new business and my other soapdom business. There are not enough hours in the day for me, but I am also very excited about what's happening in the world of soaps now, with Days of Our Lives being picked up for another 18 months, which was announced today, and One Life to Live, and All My Children, being back in the picture. I think it's all very exciting and all very positive news for soap operadom. So
and General Hospital bringing back all the old beloved characters. Oh my gosh. That is just wonderful to see all those faces again. And I was so, so, so excited to see John Lindstrom is coming back.
Yes, And did I see someone else? Oh, Jeannie Francis.
Yes, Jeannie Francis.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to wonder what's going to go on with that. With what is she going to be involved with Tony? I would imagine at some point she probably would be. But, since him and Tracy are split up, so who knows? Maybe a quadrangle of some kind.
So let me ask you, are you primarily a General Hospital fan? I'm going to turn the tables on you now. I'm going to ask you a question.
No. ABC was first and foremost, but I've also watched CBS and NBC throughout the years.
Okay. So, well, what I was going to ask you in particular with General Hospital, do you see a change in this, a positive change in the storytelling, now that the new showrunners have, been at the helm for a while? And
most definitely. I look forward to watching it every day. Okay. There was a point in time where before those new people came in that if I missed a day, it was like no big deal. If I caught it later on what is it called, SoapNet, And then, or if I had it DVR'd, if I watched it, fine. If not, I waited till the weekend and I caught up. But now you just don't want to miss a minute of it.
Right. Well, the reason I asked this question is because somebody was tweeting with me today that they didn't like the stories on General Hospital, and we're hoping that they would change.
Well, some
you
people
can't please
them all.
Yeah. But as far as you're concerned, it's an improvement and you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
But are you missing characters like Jason and?
Oh my gosh, I don't know how to answer this. I mean, I do, but I don't, and it's funny for me to say that because he's been such a huge, huge part of General Hospital for so many years now.
Yeah, 21 years.
And I thought that the minute he was gone, maybe it's because it's so new and it just seems like he's only off for a few days or something. Maybe that's how my mind is doing it. I don't know. But I don't really miss him right away. And also I think it has to do with bringing Lucy back and bringing Ian Buchanan back and having him with Anna and then, all the other characters and the storylines are moving so quickly that it just keeps you entranced and you don't know what you're actually missing until you later get off and you think about it.
Interesting, yeah.
That's how my mind works.
Well, what are your thoughts that he's now going to be on Young and the Restless?
That's a wait and see. That's a wait and see for me. I first of all was shocked because I thought he wanted out of the business altogether, and that's why he moved, and he was going into films and, different projects. And what is it, a couple months or something since he left GH, and now he's on Y&R?
Yeah.
So, and then again, I'm not real surprised considering who he's friends with.
Right.
But I don't know. I think his character may do well, and it may bring some GH fans over there. And, and I think that's what's happening, too, a lot because there are only 4 soaps left with the crossovers or even, being like Ian Buchanan has been on every soap. And if you love him as an actor, you're going to watch that soap.
Sure.
So this may happen with with Steve Burton as well.
Well, I had a lovely conversation just a few hours ago with Bree Williamson, who was just passed from One Life to Live. And she has, been one of the actors since the show was canceled. She has done, quite well. She is on a new show on NBC now called Deception. And she was also in the last season of Haven on the Sci-Fi Network.
Right.
So she's, got 2, primetime roles, and her new show on Deception, which just premiered this week on NBC on Monday nights.
I watched it. It was good.
10 p.m. She, her character gets killed off, right?
Right at the beginning, poor girl.
Of the show. Well, it's like Twin Peaks or even Desperate Housewives. The main character or the overall glue character of that show, Desperate Housewives, herself in the first, couple of minutes of the show, and then continued throughout the seasons to narrate.
Right, and to see how that person that got killed affected the rest of the characters, so you get story out of that.
Right, and that's what's going to happen with Bree Williamson's character on Deception, and she will continue to appear in flashbacks, and she's also doing these other, web-only, they're not really webisodes, I'm calling them video-sodes, where they're actually going into some of the scenes of the episodes, and she's narrating what happened or what led up to that scene as far as her character.
Oh, cool.
So, so she's really more a part of the show than you might think. She was killed off in the first 60 seconds.
Yeah.
But so she's, one of the stars from those cancel soaps that has, continued on. But there are many, that really haven't done much else. I saw Cameron Matheson from All My Children in a really bad Lifetime Movie Network movie. It was really bad. And I love him, but this was I'm thinking, who wrote this and how did it get produced? How did it get, on television?
Yeah.
And I do love him. But, work is work, and it's good to flex your muscles and do different things. But there are many actors who haven't really